Hey, so I just finished watching Let Him Go, and that was a kind of I don't know how I feel about that actually. At first I thought I was really liking it, but I was still like this is kind of a disappointment, 'cause it wasn't at all what I thought it was gonna be like. And then as I got into the middle, because that was like my first act impressions. And then the middle act, I was like, all right, now it's getting into like what I thought it was gonna be like, but still isn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. I'm still not liking it as much as I thought I was gonna like it. And now it's not as much of a disappointment. And then I got to the third act, and then I was like, this movie's trash. This is stupid. This movie's very disappointing. So I don't know exactly how I feel about this movie. It's not necessarily that the movie's bad. It fails to do what I think it's trying to do. I don't know. I'm not sure if I have to go into spoilers or not. I'm gonna try to keep it spoiler free, and I'll warn you if I decide to go into spoilers. So, with a title like Let Him Go, I thought it was going to be way more emotional personally than how I found it. There was literally zero emotion going on in the movie for me. Uh, they were trying to tug at the heartstrings throughout the entire movie, but not a single scene like garnered in iota of sympathy from me because none of the characters were really like explored. I felt like I didn't know any of the characters whenever anyone died or anyone like I never felt sorry for them because I didn't really know like any details about them that made me like sympathetic towards them. Uh like I felt like this movie would work better if it was more of a character study than it was, which is kind of what I thought it was gonna be, and then kind of shoot, bang, bang violence at the very end, sort of like a slow burn thriller like that, but with like country western drama vibes. Kind of like a sort of Logan thing going on there, but like with more developed characters. But the characters like were not developed like at all. Like you knew character backgrounds, but like nothing that got you really emotional to tear up over a character or anything like that. It was just very emotionally void. Uh, which is kind of like then why'd you go with the title that literally makes the entire movie's plot predictable and redundant if you're not gonna milk the drama from that title, and they're clearly trying to milk that drama, but didn't do so successfully for me, which what kind of felt like was trying to be the main point of the movie, other than like trying to get you upset at the injustices that were happening on screen and making you feel powerless, which is the one thing the movie did right for me, was that I was very angry throughout the film at like the injustices that were happening and how it made you feel powerless as the two lead characters. I won't go into spoilers on how that is. But yeah, the ending is literally the most predictable thing ever because like just reading the title, you already had it figured out. And literally the whole plot I predicted beat for beat just off of those three words in the title. It's ridiculous. So like, yeah, it kind of felt like a fail from a storytelling point of view. And like I was even hoping that the violence would have been a bit more gritty and that you could actually see what was happening better. There were some charming performances and characters, so that ups the likability a bit, but it's just a feel bad movie that failed to make me feel bad, and more so I just felt disappointed, which is a different, less enjoyable version of feel bad. Because I it was more like feel nothing rather than feel bad, which is a form of feel bad, but it's the worst kind of feel bad. And I'd rather like feel wrecked and really bad than feel nothing at all, which is the worst that you can do. But yeah, it does have like good atmosphere. It's just really another mixed bag movie. Like there's some things I liked about it, there were some things I didn't like about it. At first I thought I was gonna give it a 7.5. That was kind of how I was feeling throughout the first 2/3 of the movie. But then after the really disappointing third act, where I was like, wait, how is this even R? The violence is super tame. I gave the movie a 7, went the exact same direction that I thought it was gonna go. Like, I was hoping it was gonna do something subversive because it was so clearly predictable, but then it didn't. So I was like, well, that was a disappointment. This is a very lame Man of Steel prequel. It's a 10 out of 10.